Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And welcome to another video on the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Now, before we start, I just want to say they actually did something kind of funny. Apparently, if you load up the game twice and set the clock both times, it'll actually thank you and then tell you to set up the clock next time you boot it up to your favorite time. I'm not sure what that's going to do, but I thought it was funny. Yeah, this episode, we're just gonna try and get a few more endings, okay? And it'll probably be another around an hour long episode. Yeah, the end is never the end, it's never the end, it's never the end, it's never the end. I wish I could remember how to get the Adventure Line ending, because I always love that one in the first one. Mainly because adventure music is fun.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Now, we sat through this last time.
Stanley worked for a...
We sat through that the whole time last time, so I don't see a reason to do that now. Welcome back. I've got an achievement.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Computer? Ah, computer. Oh, yeah. What does that say? Knowing your city. Before you can possibly know where to begin your new street wanting operation. I can't tell what that says. It's tiny. Open door. Painting. Where to get the other new content ending?
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
More new content. This is different than it was last time. The new content is amazing. The neon sign is exquisite. Just like your memes. So, how's your days been, guys? Mine's been pretty good. Kind of woke up really early by accident. Only got like 3 hours of sleep. But it is what it is. More new content? Elevator! What's over here? Elevator content?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this Ultra Deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this Ultra Deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Whoa. What?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Can't open that. We don't have the jump button anymore.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Come on, where's the part where it breaks? There's gotta be a part where the stuff just starts going. Red phone. Is there a bucket? Oh. I'm going to delete your game. Haha. New content part 2. Old and busted. New hotness. Cool red section of the chart. More TSP. Better TSP. Paradigm shift. Synergy. Brick and mortar approach. Envelope. Client-centric marketing. The color red. Leverage. Holistic. Value. This confuses me. Can't open those doors either.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
It's beautiful. I've started this for 8 hours now. Wow. I'm gonna back away before I get entranced in it. The sequel to the Stanley Parable is the prequel to the Stanley Parable 2. What? This way to the show floor. Hey, man. Whoa, dude. It's so cool. Oh, I get to go through the line. Ooh. I had to make sure the stool didn't do anything. It looked like something that did something. Ooh. This is all Jurassic
Here we
Park.
are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Where's the jump circle? I want the jump circle. Where's the jump circle? Let's see here. Hear your name in the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Dovahkiin?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim. Sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust.
What about
Do you
putting
feel it
all
deeply?
Dwight stuff in
Are you
Jell-O?
really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes!
Wow.
You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Okay.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money.
Yeah.
Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Jim.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim.
Jim.
I'm putting
Jim.
the Jim button away.
Jim.
No.
Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who
You
you
can't stop me.
actually are.
Oh.
Jim.
Nah. My validation's all gone. Can I open this door? How about this door? I still haven't seen the jump circle. I want the jump circle back. That was the best part of the game. We got the jump. Do these buttons work? Ah, they don't work. We need more jump button.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable too. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
It's back! The jump circle. What's over here? Please, no screenshots. We'll go check out the jump circle first. We'll go this way and figure out what this stuff is. I saw an infinite hole and jump circle. ¿Qué pasa? Let's see what's over here. Collectibles, exit, jump circle. Easy achievement, okay. Todd Howard was here. I need to go this way. We're just gonna check out the jump circle and the collectibles. Whoa.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
That is kinda creepy. Whoa!
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
And the jump circle. Jump circle's over here. Jump circle. Jump circle. What?
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
I've never been so punished in my life. Please, no screenshots. Wait, is this like just a full loop right there? We're gonna go through that. Go this way, and then we go this way, Jim, and then we're gonna go through here.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Well, on one hand, we don't care. On the other hand, child labor. Child labor's pretty funny.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Yeah. Get Well Someday it is.
Yeah, I've done that before. Otherwise funny. Get well someday.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
We'll see about this achievement. Please don't send me back to the start.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
This whole thing has been a massive heartbreak.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Well, I don't know where the exit is. Actually, this might... That's the exit. We're gonna go over here and do the infinite hole. Because it won't end. Because the end is never the end, it's never the end, it's never the end, it's never the end. Let's go and jump into the big hole. Into the ground. Come, let's just walk near the giant pit of death. Rim, surrounding area. Depth, infinite. It's a wormhole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
How far does it go?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Does it have a bottom?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on you. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
I had a brief moment of, oh, crap, it moved today. We're gonna go find more stuff to mess with. I think there might be more if you go back this way. I wonder if he's changed the decision on the whole, child labor part. Pretty based. We're gonna take that way back over there. Nope. Oh, merch. Reassurance bucket? Bucket! We're going back to the bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical.
Where's the
that
bucket?
it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I want the bucket. I can keep the bucket. It's coming with me. They can suffer.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
I would.
That really should be an award if it isn't already.
There. I think we've collected everything. We're gonna go up the stairs and see what this new content door says. Wait. Settings World Champion. This way. Okay. I want to be the Settings World Champion. Door doesn't open. Why doesn't the door open? Okay, we'll go this way. That's new. Epilogue.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Fair enough. Ooh. Whole new office. It looks like the 80s threw up on it. Or the 70s, I don't know. Ow, my head. Okay, my ears. Ow. That is uncomfortable. We're just gonna find the exit. Oh, we've gotten everything. Yep, we got everything. Couldn't go inside Satin's World Champion. I'm keeping the bucket. The bucket is beautiful. And I love the bucket, and I will kiss it and hug it and love it. And,
All right.
and name
Have
it
you
Jim.
seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yes, I'm keeping the bucket. The reassurance bucket is beautiful. Amazing. And red. It is very red. Ooh, big.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Okay, I'm keeping the bucket.
Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
You can't take my bucket. What?
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never
The
mind.
jump.
Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly... I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
I'm scared. Whoa. Okay, that's trippy. This is sort of a man named Stanley who tripped very quickly down the stairs at work. Let's begin the game, I guess. What? This is amazing so far. It's already got a return of the jump button. And the end is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Where's my bucket? Hey, my bucket. Where's my bucket?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Wait, is this just the original
Stanley
game, but
decided to
it-
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I feel like this is literally just the original game, but with the balloons. Probably bottomless pit hole somewhere. Oh! Bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Yes, I did. Because it's the... What? Because it's the bucket. And it's amazing. Who would not pick up this bucket?
Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office.
He-
Nothing responded to the bucket's touch,
He's just
but it
walking
did
around
little to
smacking things
discourage
with the
Stanley's belief in the magic of the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I'm gonna do it. We'll go with the escape ending this time if I can.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
This is beautiful. Room closet.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
No.
You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy?
No.
It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
No.
I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good
my
for you,
bucket.
Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend.
It's my
Can't
bucket.
hand it over. Oh, no.
It's mine.
We get
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Bucket to the bathroom. Now it has 2 toilets. Oh, collectible.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried.
I've got the
So,
bucket.
I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Ah, it's beautiful. We changed it. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. I don't get it. Can I fill a bucket with water? My bucket. The bucket is beautiful. The bucket is amazing. Everyone loves the bucket. Wonder what happens if I put in the code.
Stepping
for-
into his manager's office,
It was what,
Stanley was
2, 8,
once
4,
again
5?
stunned to discover not an indication
what
of
it was.
any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
I don't know what it is.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The
It's
bucket
just like
would,
Jorge, who makes this
and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this
What?
point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes,
am
this
he who
is
is
certainly the
guided
most
by bucket.
logical explanation.
This is my bucket. I love it, and I squeeze it, and I hold it. Collectible!
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
like me some Stanley Rains. Oh no, the elevator. We're back to extra content. We've been sent back to the land of new content.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
I need the bucket.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
The bucket says otherwise. The bucket says it goes this way.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Okay, we're gonna go back. We'll take the main door. We're just gonna take the main door.
But of course, Stanley and the bucket thought better of it and realized they simply had too much to live for. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I was wondering how they afforded so many flat screens.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
It's okay, Buck. It's okay.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
Nonsense.
Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do?
Impossible.
What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
You cannot taint the bucket.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
My precious bucket.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world.
Where's 4?
They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Yeah, bucket. Bucket's the best character in the game, man. Hey, you gotta love the bucket. You can't not love the bucket. I'm sorry. It was my phone alarm. I don't know why it was going off. Probably because I said it. It is what it is. Okay, let's just go and turn off the tower. I'm gonna turn off the power. Bum bum.
When at last they came...
Botox overdose.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes! They had done it!
Bucket.
Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to...
What?
What? Wait. What was happening?
Bucket?
Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
Bucket?
An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
What? No!
Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, will go to any lengths not to part with the bucket.
I need the bucket.
No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Just frisbee the bucket into the pit. Oh no! The bucket fell into Mount Doom. We might as well just go home. The bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I don't know if we should leave the bucket or not. Stanley can't leave unless he leaves the bucket with him. Okay, we're gonna go.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No, I want that one ending where you get the
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Collectible.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
That's funny. Let's get in the pit. And oh no.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off.
What?
The beaten.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
No. Not my fault at all. I just want the fun ending where you get the...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Computer's going off again.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I think this time what we'll try to do is we'll half follow
When
what he
Stanley
says.
came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I want the Adventure Line ending because that's always been my favorite.
Wow.
one, is
Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah, okay.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Alright, so backtracking does nothing. I just want the Adventure Line. Whoa, they changed it. Trust the completionist instinct. There will be a reward for finding them all. This is freaky. Oh, this is the remaining locations of them. Something to do with stairs. Somewhere with both red and blue. Oh, okay, so that's the red and blue doors. Room closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
It's a broom closet.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
I wonder what happens if I just wait here. Room closet is beautiful.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing?
It's a broom closet.
Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
It's a beautiful broom closet. Look at it. It's got multiple rolls of duct tape, some copper wire, it looks
You
like.
do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd
more
said
duct tape.
Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention.
I'm not leaving the broom closet. It's mine. I own it.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
I hope your friends find this concerning.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
I love Goodfellas.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Do I sit here and then go, or do I go in the hallway? I think he's done talking. You know what? We'll just...
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Okay, I don't think he's gonna do anything else. We're gonna go downstairs this time.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Aha!
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler Anlarines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then, different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler Anlarines. None of us can.
Oh yeah, I have the power of eBay.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that.
We're going
And
home.
in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all.
Whoa.
None of it made any logical sense.
Looping.
And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet
God.
when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
Dude.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Aha.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. Poof. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
I think we're going to try to get one more ending. And that's it for the video, okay? I think what we're going to do is we're going to go down
All
to
of his
the
co-workers were
elevator
gone.
maintenance room.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
We'll leave the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Just to
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, we're going to take the first open door.
And so he detoured through the maintenance
And we're
section,
going downstairs.
walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
No, he didn't. He went and got on the elevator and went downstairs.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Don't you dare.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Okay.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Okay, we're looking for the story.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
Okay.
Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Here.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
There.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'll turn off every computer I can. Ah, the bucket's gone. Why is the bucket gone? Whoa.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Sure, yes, sir. The story's unfindable. What? How? What?
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Okay. We'll give it another shot.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Turn off all the monitors still. I refuse to leave them on. The CIA needs to keep the secrets.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Yes, sir. That door's open.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes.
We're hunting the
No,
story?
wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Okay.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the
Why?
story? I don't
I mean,
think
it
so.
looks like it's some sort of
I
story.
can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that
Could
correct?
be an office before it was an office.
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in
Boy, I
a
have
lot
a
of
bucket.
hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job.
Give me back the bucket.
Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Okay. We restart. Go back through it. Become Himalayan
All right,
drug lord.
I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost,
Sequel.
I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line.
Let's go.
How simple is that?
Yeah, I need to turn off the computer again. Yeah, the adventure line. Still turn off all the computers. He won't stop me. Won't stop, can't stop. So just keep follow the yellow brick road.
You see? The
Follow
line
the
knows
yellow
where
road.
the story is. It's over in this direction.
Follow the yellow
Onward,
brick
Stanley,
road.
to destiny.
Follow
Though,
the yellow brick road.
here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
The adventure music? Yeah!
Cut the music.
What?
Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully.
Okay, it's a
You
fern.
won't want to miss anything. Wait, what? We're back at the office? No.
This way.
Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is
Hold on.
any of this ringing a bell?
So we go through this door? And through here? There's no more computers to turn off. I'm very uncomfortable about this.
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
But I love the adventure line. Yeah, let's follow the adventure line.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh,
Office
this
Season
all
9.
sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay, I'm enjoying this. We need more adventure music.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination.
Office
Whatever
Season
it might be,
18.5.
Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Featuring Michael Scott playing every character except for Dwight and Jim.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story.
I
No
love line.
lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Okay, I won't acknowledge it. I'm gonna keep following it. Oh, I can't follow it that way.
A choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Yes, sir. What?
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined?
Please
So
don't
now,
excuse that.
according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide?
Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean... did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey. Though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
What? Dude. I'm scared. Then restarted. So I'm very puzzled. The end is never the end, 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 is never the end. Is this just normal kind of burn?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hold up, sun's off here.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
What?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
We're just gonna get that last collectible, I guess.
No, said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yeah. Good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
No. We're gonna go get the last Stan figurine.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point.
Exactly.
Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay. I'm all here for the bucket class.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Let's say I'm holding the bucket, and I don't know what a bucket is. So, if I don't know what this is, I don't know what that is. So...
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
So I'm holding a hologram of a bucket. They tried to trick me.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
So, if that was the hologram, then this one must be the actual thing.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
There is no such thing as a bucket, I guess.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
What?
Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor.
Yes.
It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket?
Aha, this is a bucket.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Aha. Big brain.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Nope.
Trick question. Both.
What?
Gotcha.
¿Qué pasa? I just...
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next... Let me see. Should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here, and I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence, and yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
But depends. Do you have a handle?
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No.
Okay, here we go.
No.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket.
Oh.
My God, I had no idea.
Ooh.
How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're
I don't
not
feel too
buckets.
good, Mr. Stark.
Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue. But it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what. I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right,
yes, ma'am.
Here we go.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Alright guys, well, that's confusing. I think we've got all the endings we need for now. And plus the video's going on for about an hour and 30 minutes so far. So, yeah, I'm just going to call it quits here. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know if I missed anything in the comments. And, well, have a good one. Adios.